I'm very happy to be here representing both New Jersey Medical School and Rutgers Biomedical and Health Sciences. As you can see, I'm a professor and vice chair in the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, but I'm also the provost at Rutgers Biomedical Health Sciences Newark, and I'll explain what my roles are in that job later. So, ooh, it didn't come out. That had beautiful colors. Well, you're not going to see it very well. This is my path to Rutgers and describes my journey, scientific journey. So I went to UCLA as a, am I holding this backwards? I don't know. Okay. I went to UCLA as a biochemistry major and intending to go to medical school. And in my final year of undergraduate, I was working in an immunology lab and fell in love with immunology, and the rest is history. Decided to do a PhD instead of an MD. So the other thing that happened when I was at UCLA is I met this guy who had a crazy haircut back in those days. He went off to MIT and I went off to UC Davis to do a master's degree or to do a PhD degree in microbiology immunology. But we decided that 4 years apart was too much, so I made my first jump here for love and did a master's instead in 1 year at Davis, and then moved to Boston University where I got my PhD. From there, he moved to Princeton, and I went to Sloan Kettering Institute for Cancer Research in New York, where I intended to stay a year or two, but really had a great time there and ended up spending 5 years and got my first NIH R01 grant while I was there, and had a great mentor who wanted me to do that. I also had my first daughter while I was there, Miriam. Then from Sloan Kettering, having that R01 grant was a nice thing. I applied for exactly 2 jobs and got 2 job offers. It was an unusual situation, and came to New Jersey Medical School as an assistant professor. And then a year later, my daughter Naomi was born. And then I wasn't promoted for 7 years, and there's a story behind that I don't have time to tell you. But I found out that I was promoted and that I was pregnant with our son Joshua the same year, or the same week actually. So, and then from there I went on to become a full professor in 1999. So along the way I have been involved in a lot of activities that were directly or indirectly related to women, leadership, and mentoring. So at the national and international level, I was on the American Association of Immunologists Committee on the Status of Women, trying to raise the profile of women, making sure we had women speakers at meetings, women mentors, etc. I was the chair of an NIH standing study section on AIDS immunity and pathogenesis. I have been involved in HIV research since the very beginning of my postdoctoral career. And that's a very influential position, as we can make sure that there's equity and how grants are reviewed, and make sure that we're getting the best science out, and not having prejudice against women, for example. And I've been on the awards committee for the International Cytokine Society, again making sure that women are adequately represented among the awardees and also speakers at the international meeting. At NJMS, I was part of the Women's Task Force on Salary Equity, where we uncovered some real inequity in the way women were being paid and the length of time to promotion that the university eventually had to respond to. I was the inaugural president of Rutgers Biomedical Health Sciences Faculty Council after there was the merger of UMD and J. President of the faculty organization, a member of the faculty council for many years, many other committees, including chair of IACUC, the Animal Care Committee, and Institutional Planning and Development, mentor for many junior faculty, and a member of the New Jersey Medical School Mentoring Committee. but probably the job that jumped me to my current position as provost, which I'll explain at the end, was as chair of the Faculty Committee on Appointments and Promotions, which my 2-year term turned into 5 years. In the community, I was on the Board of Ed and the Education Foundation. So lots of opportunities to influence education for science and for women. So I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that I've trained 33 PhD students, which is the most of anybody in our graduate program. And that included in those 33, of whom 4 are current, there are 12 women, 6 underrepresented minorities, and 6 MD PhDs. So this is Sam Maldonado. At his graduation last year, he's an MD PhD student who's now doing clinical rotations, and these are on the bottom are 2 of my current students, Harry, who is an MD PhD student, and Hannah, who is a traditional PhD student. And I think that's my greatest joy has been influencing the lives of these young people, men, women, both. So my newest role is as provost of Rutgers Biomedical and Health Sciences, and I've just been doing this for approximately 6 months. And I do a lot in the area of faculty affairs. So we're trying to recruit and retain the very best faculty members that we can. We look at promotions. We interact with deans, chairs, and individual faculty. We're involved in mentoring programs, so the provosts are very much involved in trying to ensure that there's mentoring that goes across all of Rutgers, RBHS. I've participated in 4 women's leadership events this month, so I think that we've been out there. I was a member of the president and vice president of Rutgers Committee on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment. We just completed, and the final report is being compiled, and we're figuring out what the next steps are. So this isn't just unwanted sexual advances, but it's things like prejudice against women for having children, things like that, which unfortunately and sadly still happens. I also went to the National Academies meeting, and National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. Together we can do better. Trying to stem the problem of sexual harassment at the national level. In addition, the provosts are involved in picking diversity awards. So this is to encourage hiring of diverse faculty across Rutgers Biomedical Health Sciences. And then I would like to think that one of my major roles is being a role model, both for my graduate students, the medical students I teach, and now as one of that upper group of leaders as a woman leader. So, thank you.